Welcome everyone. Welcome to Diamond Matrix Masters Law of Acquisition class for this week. It is going to be a doozy, all right? A doozy. That's not even one of my normal words, so I don't know where that came from. Channeled it, I think.
No, that's from me.
Oh, is that you? Honestly, I'm saying some weird stuff lately. It must be coming from you. And I thought I was all over weird. That's Canadian weird coming out. Thanks for that. Yeah, I was saying dealio the other day and I go, what? That's not natural.
Okay, that's me too.
Excuse me to all Canadians. I apologize right here, right now. Okay. Welcome, Zoe. Great to see you here. Lovely. All right. In the summary, okay, for today, I talked about it was creation streaming is the source that you obtain your desire from. Have you thought about that? Normally we think about source as being God or the universe. We talk about it. We're usually on our knees going, please help me, okay? And that's the first source that I go to. So when you actually go to a source, you're actually asking for something or desiring something or wanting something. But with the law of acquisition, we've learned a great deal more. And this is what I love about quantum law, because it actually brings us into our own power of being able to create deliberately. Don't you love that idea, creating deliberately? Okay, without the ability to be interfered with, that you can actually know what's coming out of your mind, heart, and escrow and be projecting deliberately. I'll tell you what, it's taken me a long time to get over this speed bump, okay? It's a big speed bump. It's a big hurdle for all of us because we just don't understand the laws that go with it. Hey, Kasia, welcome. Thank you for bringing in your peoples to do homework with me. Okay, filling up. What's Diamond Matrix Masters all about? Diamond Matrix Masters is about bringing you into the new diamond light body. Okay, so we're coming up in frequency to the diamond, which I teach off and train off here. Okay, this is the world system. This is the diamond consciousness that keeps you upright on your feet. First question I ask anyone, and please adopt this because it just works fabulously. If your soul pulled out of the top of your head right now, what would your body do? Yay, it'd fall over. Okay, it would fall over. And this is what is so tragic on this earth is that people are usually back to front and upside down to themselves, not understanding that they're fully connected to the source that they're seeking. Okay, they're already connected to the source that they're seeking. And that is such a great relief. Okay, when I was broken, I didn't know I was connected. It was like I had to do penance. Okay, I was looking at 144,000 steps that I had to kiss to get up there and connected. Not that I'm of a Catholic background, but you know what I mean. So it's like a whole lot of work to come into this alignment that is actually flowing through me. So this consciousness is so rich, so pure in unconditional love, because it is, you're just a drop down version from source itself, which is stellar energy, is the spark of light itself. And how could there possibly be any separation, okay, within you? And this is why we've been taught that in the game of duality of right versus wrong, good versus bad, heaven versus hell, this massive obstruction to being in unity with your sovereign soul. Isn't that a nice little summary? Okay, so we just put everyone in their place, okay, back into alignment with who you absolutely are, okay? But when we're back to front and upside down to one another, working out of the system, okay, this is where these vibrational worlds, these anomalies, these stories actually come and affect us. And they grab us pretty hard because we can become very unwell in our four bodies. So the physical body, mental body, emotional body, and spiritual light body. Okay, so when you're unwell in your body, I really feel for, for people who are in pain. Oh, I've been so blessed not to feel or experience pain. Okay, yeah, free of that. Imagine being free of that and not having to have that in your escrow, in your light body. Excuse me. Okay, so when you're in alignment with the greater you, and that's what we do in Diamond Matrix Masters, we've got a master school. Okay, our signature school is Quantum Living with Full Body Wellness. And where we set up your light body, we remove all your pain bodies, heal your wounded child, sign off soul contracts. We do the big car wash on your energetic system. And then we set up your light body. Well, it's pretty hard to walk in this world with all of its energies being thrown at you. And this is where the empaths of this world go, oh, I'm drained and people are attacking me and all this type of jazz. And it's just because they don't have their light bodies set up and they're not shown how to work out of this sense of isness, the isness of being. Okay, I am a unit of light. Isn't that a beautiful position? I am a unit of light. Why do I talk about all of these things? Because I need you to get into how ginormously fabulous you are as a sovereign soul. Come here from light, are made up of light, and you project light. Where do you project it? You project it onto your own quantum field. Where is the quantum field? It's in your vibrational body. You are the creator of your own worlds according to your law of acquisition as to what you can have, what you can't have, and what you've already been affected by. Okay? So this is called the 4 levels of consciousness. You start in light, you drop into Maya, which is forgetting who you are, and then you get imprinted, and then you journey out and open your little peepers and start, oh, I've got more going on than I thought. You know, I've got more control. I can actually affect my life through the way I think and feel and act. And so these beautiful platforms have been set up to teach you that you can start affecting. But I want to take you into the 4th level of consciousness. That's where I kick in. Okay, bring you back into the 4th level of consciousness, which is knowing yourself as a sovereign soul right here, right now, in this lived experience. Okay, so that you can have sovereignty over every vibration that you emit. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and we've been teaching on the glasses. Who's heard the glasses teaching? It's a Seth teaching. Okay, what is real for me, if I put a glass in front of me or you, if I put this glass, if we're all in the same room, guess what? That glass would be in multiple different places. Why? Because where you place it in your vibrational world is only known to you. Now, this is actually a freeing scientific experiment. It's all science, remember, okay? People go, oh, that's not provable, okay? It doesn't matter what people think. This is what is of the great teachers, okay? Don't really care what other people think, all right? When I put this glass in front of me, only I can see where I actually put it. Now, you've been taught that this glass is a glass. So you go, yeah, I can see a glass. Okay, sure. But where you actually see it is in a different place to where I've placed it. Oh, this is so powerful. If you can actually apply this to everything, you'll let everybody off the hook. Because what that means is that you can't understand my world because you've not been a part of its vibrational collective before. So you don't know my world. I don't know your world. Total respect for your world, but I've got no ability to understand it. Isn't that freeing? That freed me. I was like, oh my God, I can just walk out of worrying about what everyone else's worlds are worrying about mine. And they're not, okay? Because nobody actually gives a fig about your world. Sounds really terrible. I'm trying to be blasé in that, but it's so freeing when you go, oh my God, I better just get on with my own world. Isn't that cool? Ah, right. So I'm not actually entangled with other people's worlds. We do go and get entangled on other people's toilet rolls. It's one of our more spiritual teachings, okay, at Diamond Matrix Masters. Here I am. You have your own toilet roll. Okay, you've got your own evolution, your own soul script. Okay, your own energetic signature that you're meant to show up for, because it's rolling out, rolling out. And what we do is we go and jump on other people's toilet rolls and mess with them. And they're very fragile energy signatures. Okay, and we shouldn't be messing with another soul path. Now I'm getting a little bit off track, but I want you to understand you came here as an energetic being, vibrating and creating, because you're the creator. And this is the leap that we're in. The leap is going from the dualistic system that is now locking us down. Okay. We're going from a dualistic system of right versus wrong, good versus bad, me judging you because you're doing this, this and this. You're judging me because I'm doing this, this and this. Okay. In this world, it keeps separation happening. So when I'm back to front in the game, I'm surviving. I'm just trying to survive. Okay. Because I'm being depleted all the time. I believe in all of these different modelings that's being exposed to me on TV. I believe all this nonsense. No, I don't, just so that you know. Okay, no, I don't. All right, I don't get involved with it. Okay, I don't want to be a part of that vibrational world. It doesn't help me. It's actually just kept me down. Okay, it's leading me up the garden path, proverbially. So what that's doing, I am actually including all of this nonsense in my vibrational world, of which I'm creating my own glass. Can you see how it's very important to protect your vibrational world, but not so much protection? Once you're actually set up in your light field, in your light body, you stand as a master, able to know quantum law, okay, and therefore project onto your own quantum field. What's the quantum field? Deepak Chopra says that your quantum field is like a still glassy lake. If you could imagine a still glassy lake out in front of you, and what you project, what you put out, okay, is what is going to ripple, pixelate, yeah, get in on that, Kasha, okay, pixelate, and come back into your lived reality. How does that actually happen? Well, your sovereign soul has a board of directors. Your sovereign soul is actually your board of directors. We use the word of board of directors because many years ago when I actually got to initiate into meeting my soul sovereign self, I was told, would you put a wounded child onto your board of directors? I'll say it again. Would you put a wounded child onto a board of directors? So if you're starting a company, would you go and say, excuse me, I'll just get that little urchin off the street and pop him in to run my business? And yet that's what I was doing. I was actually running my life with this wounded part of myself that kept on retracting. Blessing from my life would keep running away, would never show up for my own appointments from my own soul script. Isn't that cool? Well, it's cool. It explained everything. That day was like instant clarity. Oh my God, that just explains my entire life. And it was so good because suddenly it wasn't just about wounding and everyone that wounded me. I didn't have all of this emotionalism going on. I actually had a solution and an answer and reason for it. Then I can actually heal my wounded child, of which is what we do in our Quantum Living with Full Body Wellness School. Okay, part of many techniques that we apply to healing you and bringing you back into unity and into your soul's sovereign self. Excuse me. So when we begin to understand that we have a board of directors, okay, and this is news for a couple of you tonight, okay, you've got a board of directors. Who's your board of directors? You have the divine feminine. Left-hand side of your brain and body is directly connected to your divine intuition. Okay, divine intuition. Feel the left-hand side of your body right now. Tune into it. That is your goddess. She's the one that you've been reaching for. Okay, she's the creator of worlds, the womb of creation, the divine mother. She knows what she's talking about. I'm not quite sure why we've spent all of our lives not talking to her when she knows everything. Okay, on the right-hand side of your body is the divine feminine, divine masculine. Okay, right-hand side of your brain, just feeling the right-hand side of your brain and the right-hand side of your body. when something happens to either side of your body, okay, you can absolutely know that your relationship with your divine masculine and divine feminine is out of whack. And as an energetic healer, I bring you back into whack so that you're vibrationally balanced. The third part of the triune being is your divine inner child. Oh, by the way, divine masculine goes, I make passage. I'm your doing force. Doing. So many of us have been disempowered in life and in our creations because we don't have the doing force. We get heaps of creation. We're creating and creating, we're inspired and totally inspired, but we just keep running around. And what's going on is we're pixelating, we're bringing our creations up and it's exciting. We've got all our signs and got strategy, and then it goes, falls apart. It depixelates. How many of you have experienced that? There's so many leaders in our world right now, and spiritual leaders, in fact, that are so disappointed. It's like, oh, I've done everything I know, okay, to bring it together so I can actually manifest. So disappointment is rife out there, and we need to bring people to these understandings on quantum law and how it works. Why is the divine inner child important to you? It's not just a dancing, skipping child, okay, like we actually make out that to be. It's delightful because the divine inner child is totally innocent. The wounded child is so wounded and in pain and keeps projecting and manifesting and bringing from the quantum, okay, reflections of the wounding. But the divine inner child, when that is completely in place and there is no wounded child anymore, the divine inner child is the pixelator. It's the gatherer of your creation that you've been desiring into your lived reality, into your lived experience. Isn't that beautiful? So right now you have your own board of directors that will do. So the divine feminine brings those thoughts and feelings. And I want you to say thank you to her right now, because every thought, feeling, and action that you've had in any form of intuition has come from you, divine feminine. Hey, think about your life. Everything I'm currently living, all that I am a vibrational match to, has been you utilizing the extent of your divine feminine. And your divine masculine goes, I make passage, the doing force. Okay, that is your doing power. And oh, the love is immense. He goes, you can have whatever you want, anything you want. You want champagne with that? Okay, just top it with a little bit of lovely. Okay, and this unconditional love of your triune being is just so immense, and it's healed me and it's pulled me together, and I've wept over it and I've received it, and I had no idea that it was inside of me. So possibly a lot of you have not yet met your board of directors, and yet it's everything that you've been reaching for in relationship. Isn't that beautiful? This is what you're looking for in the perfect male. It's what you're looking for in the perfect female. Okay, you want the God and you want the goddess. Okay, perfectly natural. Why? Because it's already in you and you're reaching for your own amazingness. And then the divine inner child goes, so be it. Now, my best way now of explaining the divine inner child is that what you sow, you reap. So that's a quantum principle. What you are projecting out onto your quantum field must pixelate and come back to you, which is why you're wanting to do a vibrational cleanup, all right? Okay, that's why we teach in the law of acquisition. We've already done 13 weeks of the entire law of acquisition school, which is the third part of the Quantum Living with Full Body Wellness School. It is immense, but it's so superb. The law of acquisition. So the law of acquisition is this overarching law, or maybe underlying foundational law. Okay, and you've heard of the law of attraction, kind of works like that. But we bring these specifics into place so that you can intelligently engage with your own law of acquisition by understanding how it works. So with the divine inner child, you know that when you get those feelings of deja vu, I feel like I've lived this before. Come on, you've lived many of these occasions in your life. And what that is when you meet up with your soul script, okay, you're tagged in toilet roll. Okay. You've written a soul script. Okay. Who wrote it? Okay. We talked a bit about predestination, but you've actually tagged into your script meetup points to keep you on track. Who did it? You did it. You did it. Isn't that cool? All right. You've always been a part of every part of this. You wrote it before you came in. So the point is, all you have to do is get on track with you. All right. And this is how you do it. Okay. It's so beautiful. You're in complete charge when you actually have knowledge. That's why they say lack of knowledge is a bit of a killer. Okay. And that's not the actual phrase, but you know what I mean. Okay. So let's look at the second. There's a lesser law, two lesser laws of the law of acquisition. And today we're actually going to talk about creation streaming. And this is amazing. So creation streaming is the source that you obtain your desire from. And when you have this in your escrow, when you utilize this lesser law, you are basically molding your board of directors to this outcome. Okay, so your board of directors goes, sometimes it goes, really? That's how you want to do it? All right, you've got free will. Okay, we have to, so be it. And they blow into your world and create that little tiny creation that's kind of a miscreation. Okay, we're putting oppression onto ourselves. Really? Is that what you want to be doing? And so we talk in our class about 3% creations, 33% creations versus 333% creations. Like, let's go the whole hog. If you understand what your divinity within you wants to give you, you'll stop worrying about your little self-esteem issues because the science is there. It's sort of like when we understand this, we don't have to pluck these little woundings out and work with this bit and that bit and this bit and that bit. We actually just take our position in alignment. Okay, and that's what I do. I fill you up with diamond. Okay, so let's just start pouring that into you, start receiving the diamond. And now the rose, I'm starting to work with rose energy, which is just this unconditional love from your divine goddess or from the goddess. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Just receiving. I want you to feel it coming into your brain right now. Why the brain? Because the brain is your chemical balance place. We always balance the brain first. Okay, and you're right. We are coming into the heart, so it'll drop down into the heart when you're ready. Okay, so just receiving. Just receiving, feeling that relaxation, just sweeping through your brain, letting the diamond do the work. The diamond is the Christos, okay, the Holy Christ itself, your I am presence, your higher self, your Buddhi intellect, whatever you would like to call it. So just receive. Whew, here it comes, and you can feel it now merging into your heart chakra. A heart chakra is opening fully so that you can become a full channel of light, which is what this time is about, coming into the diamond consciousness. And the greater consciousness is that your entire system of light is immersed with the soul sovereign self. Whew, imagine having that sort of power pack lit up in you. That's what you're to do. It's your responsibility to light up your own soul. You've got to switch yourself on, okay, by understanding these things. If you haven't read my book as yet, I recommend that you get it. Do a flash while your eyes are closed. All right. Diamond Matrix Masters, Self-Mastery Level 1 on Amazon and everywhere else.
Link in the chat. Link in the chat.
Thank you. Kasha always whacks my links in. Appreciate. So just keep receiving. I'm going to keep imparting, okay? So I'm a healer and a spiritual teacher on these things, okay? We impart energy. We set up your light bodies. We heal you. We pull out vibrational stories. I'm an etheric surgeon as well. And we do all of this cleansing, basically. And what does that do? That brings you into your purest sense of self. Now that we've laid this foundation, you're starting to feel connected. Remember, I am a unit of light. Feel yourself as a unit of light. I am a unit of light. I've come from light. I am light. I project light. You expand. You become a vibrational match to the next, to the next, to the next. And when you're in alignment, there's nothing to change or fix about you. There's nothing to change or fix about you. Phew, isn't that beautiful? Oh my God, you know, so many of the programs still being taught that you've got to fix yourself. No, you don't. You just have to be light. Yay. That's a load off. I don't know about you, but my ego was kind of insane when it wasn't connected to my sovereign soul. Every time I get out, okay, it's like, oh my goodness, which part of this would I like to try and fix today? Okay, the ego is kind of insane. It's insanity. How can you fix insanity? Only by coming into alignment. And then your ego's at peace. So better to come into alignment. You can come into alignment in a holy instant. In a holy instant, be whole. Course of Miracles. Okay, so receive, receive, receive. Right now, you are in the best place to create from. Isn't that gorgeous? Right now, you're in the best place. Okay, the best place to create from, because you've got the Christed energies flowing through you, lighting up every cell and every atom, working with your original DNA. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so while we're doing this, of course, wouldn't you prefer to be projecting onto your quantum field from a place of complete peace? Alignment with the greater you. Your board of directors is connected now. That didn't take much to do. Okay. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fantastic. All right, just keep receiving. All right, it's a beautiful place. Okay, back to creation streaming. Okay, creation streaming. This is, I'm just going to read this little bit out. So creation streaming is the source that you obtain your desire from. Your source could be your lover or your partner, a family member, parents, workplace, or government. Okay, it is your expected place from which to receive. We will talk about money here as an example, but this does apply to love, relationships, self-esteem, business, values, and all sorts of topical stuff. Okay, society has elaborated banking and credit systems, quick loan systems in place as a honeypot with interest. So you have your own honeypots where you stream your stuff from. I love the word stuff. It's my scientific word for everything. Okay, so you have honeypots. Where does your stuff come from? Where's your honeypots? Okay, and we do this amazing red door experience with your visualization. And I can promise you that right now, and I don't want to be decreeing this over you, I actually want to just recognize how many creation streams that you actually have, because they'll actually be between perhaps 1 and 6. Some of us have 0. Okay, so that's a reality. Feel that. Okay, think about where your stuff comes from. Think about who it is that you rely on instantly. Okay, when I think about money, when I say the word money, where does your money come from right now? Don't answer me, of course. I want you just to tick it off in your head. Where does your money come from? Where's your reliance? Okay, because that's your source that you rely on. That's called a creation stream. It comes from that expected place. And because you're actually doing that, that means that that's the only place that it can pixelate from. Wow. Imagine if you just had all your doors open. Imagine if you had not just these honeypots, but lots of honeypots. Wouldn't that be nice? Lots of honeypots. And on this beautiful platform, we give you and allow you to access, you can access as many honeypots as you want. But I can promise you by your law of acquisition that if you're only using those honeypots, okay, when you can actually have many honeypots in numerous honeypots, or what would happen if we got rid of the honeypot? Oh, what would happen if you didn't need a honeypot? Isn't that cool? So most people, when they're living a creation stream, when they're utilizing and only seeing that's when we get all frantic. That's when we get stressed. It's like, where is my money coming from? I've got to create another creation stream. Okay, so in this society within the world, it's been taught that it has to labor for time, time for money. Okay, that M1 setup. Okay, they are laboring. They're giving their life. Their bodies are actually having to perform every hour to obtain a half-decent wage. Okay, and they're broken, and that's why they need to retire. Okay, retirement is a law of acquisition. How many of you believe in a retirement here? Don't put your hand up. I'd be so disappointed. Okay, you believe in the system. Oh my God, are you kidding me? You know, I keep talking about this. You know, we're still talking about women's rights. I want to be paid the same as the men. I want to have a breakdown by 50 and retire. Spend the next decade getting my body back on track. Okay, with this pittance called superannuation. Come on, that is a law of acquisition. Okay, now we know that we talk about this all the time on Noble Goldman. That's why I love Noble Goldman, because we are breaking out of this paradigm. However, I will break you out even further. You want full breakout? Learn what the law of acquisition is. The law of acquisition is going, me, I am a creator. I can have anything that I want at the speed of thought come to me just because I thought it, without a creation stream. Oh, did you get that? Did you get it? Oh, this is so sweet. This is so sweet. You can have money, you can have love, you can have fun, you can have just whatever you want. Feel like that dinner with somebody that you just feel like having dinner. In case someone calls you and goes, man, I feel like going out for dinner with you. It just happens. You can have anything that you want at any time. But you have to open yourself up to what alignment and the true law and nature of acquisition is. Are you living with 1 or 2 or 3, perhaps 6 honeypots? Okay, and you're trying to work feverishly around the clock to feed those creation streams so that you can get stuff from it. Okay, no, the law of acquisition goes, I thought, and so my quantum field delivers it. Okay, this is where you put the Google Maps icon on top of your head, your GPS. Stick it on top of your head. Okay, I thought, and so it's got to come to me. All right. You don't order Uber Eats from a fancy restaurant going, yum, 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 I'm looking forward to it. And you've got the destination going to somebody else's house. No, everything you think, feel, desire, pull into you, whatever you're projecting onto the quantum fields comes to you, your physical body. So your physical body has to be in alignment with your soul script, on track, minding your own energetic business, not on somebody else's, not on your kids. Forget them. They've got their own. They're trying to shove mum off. It's like, get off my soul script. I've already got it covered. Okay? Stop interfering. You have to get onto your own energetic soul script story. Be true to yourself. I'm giving you permission right now to do whatever you want. Okay? And it will come to you. And it only comes, why? Because it's unconditional love. Your soul is unconditional love in every way. My board of directors, my divine feminine, said to me one day, she actually went whoosh, and I almost fell over with this wind. It was like whoosh. She goes, I get return on everything that I project out. Return from the quantum field, 100%. I get return on everything that I project out, every thought, every feeling, every piece of information, every desire, okay, has 100% opulent fulfillment if you engage with your soul sovereign self. Oh, man, you've got a board of directors. You've got a power team. Okay, I've been listening to lots of things about power teams this week and that it's glorious. Okay, but you've actually got a power team. Okay, this is like your super team. All right, your divine feminine, your divine masculine, your divine inner child's here for you. Okay, but what we're so busy doing is we've got one honeypot and then we've got to pay all of our things out of it. One honeypot, get paid once a month, once a fortnight. Okay, and I've got to pay all this. And then I haven't got very much left in my honeypot. And then I've got to put my body on the line for another fortnight to get my one honeypot, pay everything out of it. And I'm dying. I'm actually exhausted, okay, because I can't keep up. And then I've got more payments coming out and I'm feeding the system with insurances. I don't even believe in the system. It's like, why do you have all of these extra bills? Okay, you don't need that. Let's just create income. Let's just create more. Let's just expand. Okay, you don't need things that are going to protect you. If you're paying into protection, you're a creator, projecting that onto the quantum field, man, you're going to be broken into. That's why you need protection. Okay, remove these vibrational stories and you'll just set yourself free. Okay, I don't believe I'm going to be touched in any way. So I've saved myself fortunes. Okay, created a fortune just through not paying insurance. Anyway, sorry, Aussie humor there. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, and I just want you to keep taking this on, because what you're doing right now, and this is the wonderful part about quantum law, is that we're tweaking. And you're going, oh, I don't need to pay insurance. Cool. Okay, you come into that tweak. All right, we've just saved you a bundle. You have to get into that vibrational alignment with that. Okay, you have to believe that your soul sovereign self has got no issue in this world. You can create that if you want to, but you can actually withdraw it in a holy instant. Take it off your quantum field. Do you really want to believe in that? Okay, because by the law of acquisition, you will bring it into your vibrational world. You will live your reflection. By the law of reflection, it must come up at some point that you're going to be living these things. Back to your creation stream. Okay, interesting enough, the robber who's going to rob you would never probably have been a robber in the first place, except that you've got it in your escrow. He's passing by and goes, oh, opportunity, and pulls it off. If it wasn't in your escrow, you probably would have kept going. Okay, it wouldn't actually happen. This is all law of acquisition. Everything is law of acquisition. Okay, you need to read it. Grab the book, learn about quantum law, because you can use it for everything. It is wonderful to get on top of it. All right, but let's look at now at where you get your stuff from, because this is really important. If I say the word love, where's your expected place to receive love from? Yeah, right, Miss Smarty Pants Darla. All right, that is true. You're supposed to get it from yourself. Why? Because I am love. However, by the law of acquisition, generally I will look at my partner and say, excuse me, creator, why aren't you giving me what I need? I'm feeling lacking. And so I'm talking to another creator saying, excuse me, can you feel my needs? I'm feeling lack. The only reason I need to go to another creator is because I myself am not connected. I'm not in alignment. This is beautiful. I don't need 10 years of counseling over this. I just have to get into alignment in a holy instant and take my position as a creator and stop going to other sources. That's what this creation streaming is about. Do not go to another source for love. Do not go to them for money. I mean, that's like me saying, excuse me, creator, can you pay for my stuff? And they're going, why can't you pay for your own stuff? It creates a whole lot of issue, doesn't it? Okay, in your vibrational world. Excuse me, creator, government, you're my creator. You should be doing this, 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 and this to meet my basic needs that I've made decisions on. It always made me laugh that people would put themselves out into remote properties, and then they'd whinge about the condition of the roads and things like this. Honestly, the law of acquisition works in so many ways. And so like, excuse me, you're the creator that put yourself there, and now you're actually wanting to, okay, obviously get an upgrade on your services to this outlandish place you place yourself. Okay, we need to take ownership of what we're creating. Can you see how this is really cool? You can apply this to anything. Look at your other creators around you. What are you asking of them? So the law of acquisition is not just about money. It is, because people always want to know how to manifest money. That's why I just put it out there. Money is absolutely there, and it should be there. Okay, but you have money as a single item. You don't have anything as a part of your thoughts that you're streaming it to. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? So you don't have money that you're wanting it to come from a certain stream. Okay, you'll have that stream. Yes, you'll have many streams. You'll create more streams, not a problem. But to be serving only those streams instead of understanding that you are the magnet, that electromagnetic forces bring to you your desires simply because you put it onto a quantum field. Isn't that cool? Anything that you want. And this is where the little ego goes to task. It goes, right, I've got to get to work. I've got these payments coming up. I'm going to have to get a second job. Law of acquisition. Okay, I'm going to use another 30 hours of my already depleted week, putting my body and soul on the line. Why do you think we have mental health? Okay, people are not in alignment for a start. They're not moving their bodies into the next time and space that they feel to go into. That's why I say, if you feel like a cup of coffee, ask your board of directors. Oh, I feel like a cup of coffee. That's come to you from the board of directors. Where do I want to have my cup of coffee? Oh, that coffee shop down the road. Oh, I'll go there. And when I actually get up and move to my intuition, my desire, my own desire that came to me, okay, I move into position, which has the next meeting point of my soul script, okay? And it could be the very thing, and usually is what you've been asking for. And it's really cool when you're doing this so long as I've been doing it, that I know I'm a deliberate creator and I move spontaneously. When do you move? Not next week. I feel like catching up with someone. Yeah, I get that urge, and I'm actually merging with their light bodies at the time, and we're saying hello, tickling each other's energy fields, and then we say, oh, I'll call them next week. No, they're hot on the line right now. It could be that contract that you're looking for, okay? Somebody, but that little bit of fear stops you from acting, or you've been taught by this system, okay, that you've got to put it on the list for things to do next week. No, living flexibly, vibrationally, up on the move, adventuring is how you do it, okay? It's like, whoop, off we go. We don't wait, okay? We do it straight away. All of these are secrets to your natural movement as a sovereign soul, okay? We're actually in what's classified as lockdown at the moment, which is saying, excuse me, soul, you are to observe these human laws, okay? My soul doesn't observe human laws. Oh, what are you thinking? What's your law of acquisition right now? What's going through your head? I know I'm challenging it. We've got to keep people safe. Okay, we're not to be transmitter. Well, you're not a transmitter. Okay, you're in alignment as a sovereign soul. What's to transmit except a bit of unconditional love, which will probably heal whoever's touching your vibrational light body. Okay, you want healing from this issue? It's like, turn your light on. Let it loose. All right, you're meant to be in that time and space. This is self-governance. This is soul sovereignty. Why is it called sovereignty? Because you are your own ruler. Okay, this is called soul governance, soul sovereignty. Okay, the soul is in charge. And it's perfect. And when I'm out there doing my stuff as soul, I don't meet this system. Okay, like I do make fun of these things. It's like me saying, excuse me, I'll just ring up the police and tell them I'm going to be at a set location without a mask. Come and find me. Okay, honestly, the odds of being even in the vicinity of 3D lawmakers is pretty well zero. Okay, it's just not going to happen. So when you understand who you are and you've got that urge to go and do something, go and do it. Okay, it's a portal. You're following your own diamond brick road. Okay, nothing can touch you when you're in alignment with your sovereign you. So back to creation streaming. Okay, where do you get your stuff from? It's very important that you look at what you're doing. Okay, what are the thoughts that come to mind when I talk about your bank? Okay, don't do anything. Don't cringe. I can see none of you are jumping in joy. Okay, what is your law of acquisition wrapping, okay, where and how fulfilling your bank account is? What's your law of acquisition? Okay, I get paid once a fortnight and then I've got this lovely little honey pot. That's boring. Okay, but your financial institution is just holding a honey pot until you spend it and then you've got to go work for another one. Okay, it's so limiting. But that is the law of acquisition. If you want to open up your honey pot with your financial institution, you need to do some energy work on it, which means all you want to do is love me. This is one of the greatest things that you can apply to yourself and to your vibrational stories with the law of acquisition that you've had going on in plan B and you're wanting to bring up vibrationally to plan A. All you want to do is love me. You apply that to every single thing that you've got wrapped up, okay? Creation wrapping is the one we'll do next week. Okay, I'll show you how that works. It's super uber cool. Creation streaming, where you get your stuff from, okay? All of these streams need to be loved, okay? All you want to do is love me. We'll clear, okay, and bring the alchemy, okay, back to the purity of source. But I want you to see, imagine if you didn't have a honey pot. What if you don't need a honey pot, a creation stream? Oh, how freeing is that? And I'm not talking about M2s and M3s here. They are very cool. I want that as well. Okay, do it all. Okay, it's the time to expand on what we have. Okay, I still love Bob Proctor. He goes, never retract and get rid of your resources and what you already have in your holdings. You expand, okay, into the next and the next and the next. We vibrationally match the next and the next and the next. One of the funny little things that I talk about is, you know, if you've got a car, you know, what's your law of acquisition as to buying a new car or getting a new car? Mine used to be that the bog was falling out of it and the wheels falling off, okay? Had to last for 10 years. All right, and my God, then my next law of acquisition, it would literally have to stop on the side of the road and I'd ring up a scrap metal joint to take it away. $20. Okay, that was my law of acquisition for myself. And I'm going, oh my God, because I was in this system going, God, I believed in God. Okay, it was like I was totally into the Christian philosophies and that. And I was praying and I was always waiting for the 11th hour. I don't know if anyone's heard about the 11th hour, but I was taught the 11th hour, only to find out it's not even a thing. Okay, I couldn't find it anywhere in the Bible. Okay, but I was taught the 11th hour. And so I was actually stress, waiting for a miracle. Please, God, stress, please, God. And I'm on my face. And it's actually going 12, 1, 2, 3. It wasn't showing. And this is what people have been doing all of this time. We've believed in this stuff that we've been taught on the law of acquisition, and we are suffering. And then we're becoming sick, and I can't sleep because I'm in poverty. Okay, and I'm not living an opulent life. Okay, think about your inner goddess. She is opulent. Ooh, talking about beautiful, rich, elegant. Okay, She doesn't live in a camper, okay, trying to keep a human blueprint down. Okay. We are talking luxury, elegance, okay? So much more than you could possibly imagine, because unconditional love is at its source, and unconditional love will give you the greatest of your projections without you stifling it into laws of acquisition. You say, oh, well, I don't need very much. Law of acquisition right there. I don't need very much to be happy. That's good, because you're not going to get much, so you better be happy. That's your law of acquisition right there. You might want to go and change some of these philosophies that you've got going on, because you are directly affecting your quantum field. Isn't this beautiful though? I mean, it's been such a struggle. Okay, I've had generational things to work through, just as you all have. Okay, but we're at the end of that now. And to actually know this, I can actually now be an intelligent creator, connected to source, not having to worry about things, knowing that I'll be okay, and bring in more and more and more of what I want. Okay, and that is when I obtain authority. What's authority? Authority is knowing. I know how it works. I know how to be a creator. Okay, I don't need to go to another creator and say and coerce them, because that's what going to another creator is, by the way. So if you're not creating your own financial system or your own financial income, you're relying on another creator. That's called coercion. And what you're doing is you're doing an etheric lasso around that person, and you're putting expectations onto them that they shouldn't have to bear, particularly if they don't understand quantum law. And that's a very stressful position that we put onto our lovers and partners and peoples. And we take our stuff from them. No, create your own stuff. Okay, you're a quantum creator. Be your own creator. I am that I am. I am that. What's the that? Whatever it is that you want to become a vibrational match to. And then by the divine inner child and your board of directors, you turn up. I am that. There's my new house. There's my car. How many cars do you want? I only need one. Okay. Or I can't afford any more than one car. Law of acquisition. See that? I can only afford one lot of registration. Law of acquisition. How can you be successful if you can only afford one registration, which is the basic maintenance on a vehicle? Now, that's not abundant thinking. So every time you're uttering, every time you're projecting, okay, the law of acquisition is going, so be it. See, your quantum field is unbiased. It's not this living intelligence. It just goes, ta-da, here it is. Good, bad, or horrid, it doesn't matter what you project. It's up to you to put the quality into your creations. Okay, so it's not the quantum field. It's not God. It's not the universe. Nobody's holding anything back from you. There's no judgment. There's no nothing. Only you as a living essential creator, okay, that says I can have it or I can't. It has to come from here or I don't get it at all. I have to be a better person before I receive. All of that is not true. Okay? When you're in alignment, running the energy, we balance the DMT levels in your brain, serotonin and adrenaline trips, settle your pineal gland down. We do all of this lovely stuff through the diamond energy, reignite your cellular memory, your original DNA, just built in abundance, in incredible beauty and intelligence. And you then shine and you can call to you, okay, anything that it is that you want. You do not need a honeypot, okay? Have many honeypots. If you want to go that way, I want you to expand and become a vibrational match to it. A vibrational match. That's the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Can you imagine not having to deal with fixing yourself up to just expansion? That's what I'm asking for. That's what I want to see you doing. Just full creation as a master. I am a master. What do you want to project into next? Okay, so if you can imagine, creation streaming is fine, but you need to first look and assess, and not with judgment, but with correction. Okay, tweak it, tweak it, tweak it, tweak it. Okay, this is what I love about tweaking with quantum, is that there's no judgments, you just didn't know. Okay, so just tweak it. It's like, oh, right, so I'm not doing this. So you're talking to your own quantum field. It's like, excuse me, we're not doing this anymore. Okay, I'll have this, this, and this, thank you, according to my, and we say the highest will. What's the highest will? It's your own board of director. And you're saying, I'll have 333% of this particular world that we're breathing into. Okay, and you live that beautiful lived creation that you've just allowed your soul sovereign self to breathe life into. Isn't that glorious? It's all in you. It's so delicious, honestly. Just beautiful. Okay, if I can open the floor up, does anyone want to ask a question on this? Is there any area that you're stuck and we as a collective group can blow it away? Because that's all it is. Honestly, you are so vast as a sovereign creator. We can literally, okay, nothing can hold you back from unconditional love, and light is that. Nothing. Only by you saying it as a law of acquisition can it possibly keep you restricted. Whew. Kasha, what are you going on about? Something to do with toilet roll. Come and talk to us briefly.
Well, thank you for having me over. And, I just realized that, after, toilet paper, rolling and rolling and all that stuff, I realized that for so many decades, I was, unrolling my paper, using my paper, and instead of some of that paper, flushing into the toilets, what I was doing, I was bringing that back with me. Like I need to do something with that, broken and dirty paper. I love it that I don't have to do it anymore.
All right, I'm going to tweak the toilet roll. Okay, that's almost sacrilegious what you said. All right, but it's true. Okay, so the toilet roll, of course, is giving you, and this is your evolution. And we are here today in 2021. Okay, that's what we've unfolded to within the creation. Okay, this, however, is my soul script. Okay, and it's still unfolding. And inside that is a default system. And you have a default system of tagged in events. And I love the teaching of the law of acquisition. Some of you have heard it, okay? Man, the things that I have met up with, and of course when you've actually met up with things and you go, I know, you're meant to be there. Wow, big mind-blowing event for yourself. But that's what I'm talking about, okay, when it comes to the toilet roll. So nothing to put down the toilet rather than to actually meet up. It's got nothing to do with the toilet. And it's showing you how fragile energy is, okay, to stay on your own path, your own energetic signature that's rolling out. So be really true to that, okay? All right. So how did we like today? Did you get it when we're talking about creation streaming? I want you to tell me, please, that you got something out of it and that you understand it and what you're going to do instead. Thank you. Thank you. I've forgotten how to say your first name again. You might have to type it in for me. Okay. Please, Peace, go ahead.
Sorry, it's Nancy. So I don't take much time to myself because I have 90 horses that I'm responsible for, and I am a fundraiser for a not-for-profit organization that I am completely not aligned with that role. So I'm an empath. I've worked with the horses and I do coaching actually for people and horses. And so I have not even a love-hate relationship with money. I have a hate, and even hate it more relationship with money. So I'm grateful today. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. No, it's pretty amazing. Like the whole point of coming into the understanding of the law of acquisitions is so that you can become a creator. And what you do is you start cleaning up your own vibrational world when it comes to money, love, and all of these things. Like I said, law of acquisition is for everything. Okay. But when you become that creator that knows how to do it, how to be it, how to emulate it, how to project it, and you have the expectation for it to come to you. Okay, you come through a lot of understandings to that point. Then what happens is you become this delicious creator that becomes of service to humanity. And that means that you can actually come to a place of being able to create on behalf of these that are helping others and just go, I'm light, we need money. Sovereign sort, and you give it to your board of directors and you say, right, need money. And so I show you this within the teachings of the school, okay, how to do that. But truly it's that easy. Okay, so you're only wanting money. However, I used to be really lousy at creating money. Okay, it was my worst thing. I was just absolutely useless at it because we were taught that we shouldn't have it. And in fact, we were taught that we only service people who are absolutely unable to pay us back. So I was like kind of way out of the ballpark, and this affected my business and everything. So I'm only just getting on top of it. It's amazing because it was a generational thing imparted. Where does it come from? Always have a look. What is your creation stream? Where is stories coming from? Okay, and just fry them in divine alchemy, violet flame them. Okay, but when it comes to fundraising for something beautiful, okay, you would be feeling into the love of those that you are helping, whether they be the horses or whatever, and you're asking for them and their continual blessing. Okay, and the money is just a part of that. So I bypass money. I actually know that I need to do something, okay, and I look at that and I ask for what's called a vibrational absolute. And I've taught on this so many times, but vibrational absolute is where you get a vision, a picture, clairsentience, clairvoyance comes to you, which will have a strategy that you'll just follow through, and that's it coming to you. You get this picture of deja vu, an end result. And when you get that, you don't have to worry about money. So if you've got money blocks, don't ask for the money itself or say, I've got to, and this is where most people live. I need this amount of money to make this happen. Okay. And the banks go, oh God, I'm so glad that they believe in that because it's actually built our empires. No, you don't. You don't need money at all to do what it is that you want. You just have to know what you want and then it comes. I've got a soul sovereign film that I'm going to make and I don't need money to do it. Well, everyone tells me I need money to do it. And I go, no, I need collaboration and other love machines, okay, to come in and we'll do it. And it'll happen the way it is. But I only want to see it finished. So I want the film, I want to feel it doing it. I've got so much to put down and get out. And that's that feeling. That's my creation with my quantum field. But the system says, well, you need to do this, this, and this, you know. And I'm going, well, this is why it's so important. Creation streaming is the source that you obtain your desire from. So they're trying to get me to go to sources that have dollars to get my desire. Doesn't work like that. Okay, I don't have to beat that drum at all. So I actually just know my desire, and then the strategy comes and I'm actually meeting those that want to participate willingly, okay, out of the love of their own energy volition. And that doesn't necessarily take money, but it could do. And if it does and it generates blessing, and we will do that, not a problem. Okay, I believe in paying 100% value. I'm not here to undermine people's dollar values for their services. It's like, don't try and score cheap things, okay, because you end up with a cheap job, don't you? Okay, that's a law of acquisition. See that? It's like, you know how they say, there's somebody selling an item and they supposedly put 10% on it because they know somebody's going to undercut them. Okay, they want a deal. Okay, that's all rubbish. It's like, just give them 100%. Give them 110%. When you start activating 100%, the 110% rule, you're going to be getting more than enough, because you are absolutely not limiting through your law of acquisition. Okay, your law of acquisition is saying I'm stingy. Okay, is that anything that you'd want to put onto your quantum field? Stinge? No, it's like give 100% generous, or give them more. Oh, so, this whole value and belief systems are massive when it comes to the law of acquisition. Have a look at your law of acquisition when it comes to that. Okay, but back to just creation streaming. Was that useful? Yeah, just look at where you're wanting to gain monies from, whether it be government funding or whatever, and just put what is needed or what you want. So forget about what's needed. I don't do need, we do want. Want is associated to desire, which is feeling. Got to have that feeling, I want this. Why do I want it? Because I love our horses. They deserve a home. I'm totally impassioned by it. That's your feeling. Okay, so of course you're going to keep creating. It has to come to you, and you'll have these beautiful benefactors. Instead of having to do little honeypot by honeypot and all this type of jazz, let's get a big one that does 10 years. Okay, imagine if you could say, I don't want my law of acquisition to be spending all of this time just trying to glean money out of people as a fundraiser. Okay, what sort of quality fundraising would you like? See, there's this, it's a beautiful demonstration actually as to the law of acquisition and what it looks like for you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you for coming into the law of acquisition. Does anyone want to express themselves and how they enjoyed this class today? Or you just chilled, mellow, and did it help? Darla, come on.
Yes, this class was wonderful. So many little nuggets through this one, and seeing just how, when first coming in a couple months ago and hearing Ruthie's class the first time, I was already like, oh my gosh, somebody who understands me, who understands what I understand. And I'm not alone anymore. When I first walked into this class, that is what I got. I was no longer alone in my thought process. And it was like I was finally home. Now sitting in here and listening and just gleaning and just learning more and more and actually adapting to it and learning how to maneuver my life through it. It has really just opened doors in every area. I am so full of joy every day creating. Like I get up and it's like I literally write and put out into the world every day. I love what I do, doing what I love. I don't worry anymore. I just get up and I just do because it's fun. Here's the idea and I don't hesitate anymore. I just do it. And the more I do it, the better my life is getting. Like every area of my world is just coming to completion right now and being full of so much joy. I'm just like, you walk in joy once you come into this realization. And it's just over and abundant. There is no lack once you're connected in full alignment. There's zero lack because all you are is abundant. So I want you to,
Darla.
I had to share that with you, Nancy, because I remember hating money. And I'm going to tell you, there are days, if I look at the account, it's in the negative. There are days I look at the account and it's in the positive. And there are days that I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I could have that much, but it's a process and it's a transition and there's going to be the ebb and the flow of it. And you just got to flow and just get in it. And once you're in it, it just gets better every day.
It does. It absolutely does. And I love Noble Goldman. I want to say thank you to QEC, Tony Taylor. Okay, Michelle. Okay, I love you guys. It's just amazing, this platform. And what's it taught me? Oh my God, I'm just eclipsing my creation streaming, because it's not about the creation stream. It's about where you expect it to come from, and only the few that you expect. So it's like expand, expand, expand. Okay, my favorite principle to start off my school is I am currently living all that I am a vibrational match to. Oh, I love that. This is why quantum principles are just timeless beauties. And when that first came to me, I started first teaching that came from my soul. I am currently living all that I am a vibrational match to. It's like, oh yeah, I'm the creator. I've been creating all sorts of stuff, but now I am currently living all that I am a vibrational match to. Whoa, I've eclipsed my life since that started, you know. I was still writing the book when that came through. Okay, so I've come a long way as a deliberate creator, okay, understanding these things. It's a beautiful, beautiful world we live in, and we're making it more beautiful by understanding quantum law, okay, and in this particular class, the law of acquisition. Come in on my Monday class. I think it's Monday for you, for people in the US, called the Diamond Quantum Law. Okay, sign in. Please bring people. Okay, I'm starting to feel like we need to talk to more people. Okay, bring people in. Mention us on your post. Okay, yes, we have nuggets, but more specifically, we tweak your reality. We tweak your reality. So come and be tweaked. All right, diamond blessings. Mwah.